Hello everyone, welcome to the video lecture on instrument transformer. So in today's lecture we would see what is an instrument transformer. So this is an instrument transformer and this is a symbol for current transformer. This is a current transformer and this is a symbol for current transformer. This is a voltage transformer and this is a symbol for voltage transformer. So what is an instrument transformer? So instrument transformer is an instrument to measure AC currents and voltage of very high magnitude. So the transformers or the instruments will be of high range. By using the transformation property of AC current and voltage, the high magnitude can be measured by transforming current or voltage down with the transformer, and the step down magnitude can be measured using a normal range instrument. See, for example, we know the main has 230 volt supply. So we have instruments in our home appliances where we don't use or we don't require 230 volt. So in such cases what we can do is we can have an instrument transformer, and this instrument transformer will step down the high voltage and it gives the required amount of voltage that is needed for that particular instrument. And then we can multiply using the transformation ratio or turns ratio, so that we will get the correct value of the supply voltage or current. Such specially constructed transformers with accurate turns ratio are called instrument transformers. A transformer transforms primary current or voltage or phase values to the secondary circuit with sufficient accuracy to allow collecting an instrument to the secondary, then primary, so that low currents and low voltage are brought to the instrument. So any instrument that needs less voltage or less current is connected to the secondary, and the primary is connected to the main supply. An instrument transformer is an electric transformer in which the current or voltage being measured acts on the primary winding. So the main supply is given to the primary winding of the second transformer, and the secondary winding or the step down voltage or current is given to the measuring instrument. Instrument transformers are used primarily in power switchboards and in high voltage AC circuits to ensure safety in measuring current intensity, voltage, power and energy. So where instrument transformers are used, what is the use of instrument transformer is, we use this instrument transformer in power switchboards where we get high voltage supply in order to ensure safety while measuring current intensity, voltage, power and energy. So one of the terminals in secondary winding is grounded as a protective measure in case of insulation breakdown or high voltage side. So in secondary winding we will have three terminals. So two terminals will be connected to the instrument which is to be measured, and one terminal will be connected to the ground. So why it is connected to the ground is, it is like a protective measure so that any insulation or breakdown on high voltage side is passed to the ground. So using instrument transformer, it is possible to measure electrical quantities which extends to 100 watts and 5 amps. So we will be able to get a power value of 100 volts. It is a low range value, and it is possible to get a low range current value of even 5 amps. So there are two types of instrument transformer: current transformer and potential transformer. In current transformer, the primary winding is connected to the current, that is to the main supply, and the secondary winding is connected to the ammeter. In potential transformer, the primary is connected to the AC mains or the supply, and the secondary is connected to the voltmeter. So this is the pictorial view of current transformer, and this is the symbol of current transformer. So this is a circuit diagram of current transformer. So current transformer steps down the current of power system to a lower level so as to measure a small rating ammeter even up to 5 amps. The primary winding of current transformer has few turns and it is connected in series with the power circuit. Hence it is called a series transformer. So this primary winding of the transformer will have only less number of turns, as you can see in the diagram, and it is connected to the AC supply or the AC mains in series to the power circuit. So that is why it is called as series transformer. The primary winding is connected in series to the supply voltage. So we can see the primary winding has only less number of turns. It is possible to measure a low range current value of 5 amperes as well as to high current value of 2000 amperes. The secondary winding has large number of turns. You can see in the diagram it has large number of turns. It is connected directly to the ammeter with a small resistance. Hence the secondary of the current transformer operates almost in short circuit condition. So this is a very important precaution that we have to take when we operate this current transformer. Current transformer should be always operated in current short circuit condition. Especially while disconnecting this ammeter, this current transformer should be always operated in short circuit or in closed mode. You cannot open because it is a series transformer. And as we see in the diagram, one end of the terminal is grounded to avoid large voltage on secondary with respect to earth, which reduces the chances of insulation breakdown and protects the operator against high voltage. Before disconnecting the ammeter, the secondary is short circuited through a switch S to avoid high voltage buildup across the secondary. So as already seen, the current transformer is a series transformer. So it is a must. It has to be in a closed circuit mode when the ammeter is disconnected from the secondary winding. The accuracy of current transformer is defined by percentage ratio between the difference of the value of actual primary current to the value of the measured primary current. So the value from the secondary winding to the value of the primary winding in percentage ratio will give me the accuracy of current transformer. Current transformer is designed to sense high current through the primary circuit and steps down the current in a known ratio. The primary winding of the current is supplied by the current source. So we can see the primary winding, which is having less number of turns, is supplied to the current source or line current. The primary winding will have thick wire with less number of turns to carry the high primary current and is connected in series with the load. So we can see this primary winding is connected in series with the line current. The secondary will have many number of turns, but it is having a thin wire and it is connected across a low range ammeter. So we can see two terminals here are connected to the ammeter and one terminal is taken to the ground. The high current is calculated using this formula I1 is equal to KI2, where I1 is the current flowing through the primary circuit or in the primary winding, and I2 is the current flowing through the secondary winding, and K is the transformation ratio. So K here will be I2 by I1. The primary winding acts as a single turn of current transformer primary, and ring type core will have one secondary winding. So the primary winding here will have a single turn of current transformer primary, and ring type core will have one secondary winding. The secondary winding transformer should not be kept open without the ammeter while the primary will carry the current. So the secondary winding at any cost should not be in open circuited mode. It should be in short circuited mode. If the secondary is kept open, there will be no current flowing through the secondary and will not produce opposing flux. So what happens if there is if the secondary winding is not kept open? If the secondary winding is kept open, it will not produce any flux. So the required amount of flux will cancel the additional flux produced by the primary winding. So we will have a flux produced between the primary winding and the secondary winding. So only when the secondary winding is in short circuited condition, the flux from the primary winding will transfer to the secondary winding. Otherwise, they cannot cancel the flux produced in the primary winding, cannot cancel the flux in the secondary winding, because in the secondary winding, since it is not in short circuit mode, there is no flux, so it cannot cancel the flux which has to be present in the secondary winding. High voltage will be induced in the winding due to higher value of flux intensity in the core, and hence causes insulation breakdown. So this is the reason why it causes insulation breakdown and high voltage is produced. So when there is a flux generated in primary winding, the secondary winding also flux should be generated, so that both the flux can be cancelled. If the flux is not produced in the secondary winding, then only in the primary winding I will have my flux, and what will happen? Because of that, high voltage will be generated across the secondary winding, which will create shock in the circuit. Hysteresis loss and eddy current loss will be too high due to high value of flux density in the core. So this lead to overheating of the core, which will cause damage to the insulation of the winding. Hence, secondary winding should be short circuited if the ammeter is disconnected. So this is the reason why the secondary winding should be in short circuited mode and it should not be in open circuited mode. So we can see the single turn or the single core act as the primary winding in the circuit, and the secondary winding is having many number of turns. So this will act as a primary and this will act as a secondary, and we are connecting the secondary winding across the ammeter here. So next, coming to potential transformer. So this is the circuit diagram of potential transformer. Potential transformer is also known as voltage transformer. It is a step down transformer with extremely accurate turns ratio. Potential transformer steps down high magnitude voltage to a lower voltage and is measured using a standard measuring instrument. So we all know in AC mains we get around 230 volt, and in order to step down the AC voltage, we can use a potential or a voltage transformer. They are connected across or parallel to the line which is to be monitored. These transformers have large number of primary turns in which it is connected across high voltage side or in the line side. So the primary winding will have more number of turns in potential or voltage transformer, and this primary winding is connected across the load side. The secondary winding has less number of turns, which is connected to voltmeter or potential coils and energy meter, relay and other control devices, and this can be a single phase or a three-phase potential transformer. So we can see the secondary winding has less number of turns and it is connected to the voltmeter. Compared to the conventional transformer, a potential transformer uses large conductor size and force. So compared to a normal transformer, potential transformer will be huge in size and it will have a huge core. So potential transformer designed for ensuring higher accuracy, and hence at the time of designing economy it is not considered as the main aspect. So voltage transformer is constructed for accuracy purpose, and hence even if it is quite larger in size also, it is not considered much. Potential transformers are made with special high quality core operating at lower flux densities in order to have small magnetizing current so that no load losses are minimized. So potential transformer will have a high quality core so that only a small flux is generated and there will be no load loss. Both core and shell type constructions are preferred for potential transformer. For high voltage core type potential transformers are used, and for low voltages shell type potential transformers are used. To reduce the leakage reactance, coaxial windings are used for both primary and secondary. So what is leakage reactance? So it is a artificial flux, or it's a mutual flux created between primary winding and secondary winding. So the reactance mutual reactance created between primary winding and secondary winding. We call it as leakage reactance. To reduce the leakage reactance, we have coaxial windings in both primary and secondary winding. So these are the types of potential transformer: core type and shell type. So in core type, we can see the windings are attached to the core. In shell type, the windings are attached in the middle of the core. So coming to the advantages of instrument transformer, moderate size instruments are used for metering. That is 5 amp for current and 100 to 200 volt for voltage measurements. So considering these requirements, we go for instrument transformer. Instruments and meters can be standardized so that there is saving in overall cost. Single range instrument can be used to cover a large current or voltage ranges. The metering circuit is isolated from the high voltage circuit, hence there is no problem and safety is assured for the operator. So since when we use an instrument transformer, we actually produce an separation between high voltage main and to the instrument which we are going to use. So the problem, safety and the problem of insulation is recovered. There is low power consumption in metering circuit. Several instruments can be operated from a single instrument transformer. So these are the advantages of an instrument transformer. So now we'll see a small video to understand better about instrument transformer.
Transformer is an electromagnetic static device in which input is in form of electrical energy and output is also in electrical form. Also, the input and output both are in alternating form. Primarily, transformers are used to change level of voltage and current. For example, in case of step-down transformer, the input high voltage is transformed to a low voltage, whereas the magnitude of current is increases because input and output power has to be remain same. Working of a transformer can be understood by taking a simple example of a small piece of wire carrying current when it is connected to a battery. As a result, a magnetic flux gets set up around the conductor. If another piece of wire comes in the vicinity of this flux, an electromotive force is get induced in the conductor, which we can see here, form deflection in needle of a galvanometer. But after some time, deflection becomes zero. Because both conductors are stationary, means there is no relative movement between them. This is known as dynamically induced EMF. Further, we can also experience that EMF is again induced in the second conductor when we remove battery. This is because of reduction in flux density around the first conductor, and the second conductor try to oppose this change in flux as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. The magnitude of EMF induced is given by E2 is directly proportional to d phi by dt. This electromagnetic coupling between the two conductors can be improved by two methods. Number 1, by using coil on both sides instead of using single wire. This results in increase of flux. Number 2, by using a magnetic core between the coils, which gives low reluctance path to the plugs and improve magnetic coupling between the coils. As you can see here, in this case, coil of left side, or we can call it primary coil, has lesser number of turns than the coil on right side, or we can call it secondary coil. And the transformer is called as step-up transformer. In this case, voltage which induced on secondary coil V out is higher than the voltage which is applied V in on the primary coil, whereas the current get reduced as the power has to remain constant. Similarly, when primary coil has more number of turns than the number of turn in secondary coil, the transformer is called as a step-down transformer, and the voltage induced on the secondary side V out is less than the applied voltage V in on primary side. The core which is practically used in a transformer is actually not a solid core. It is made up of number of thin sheets of metal called laminations. This type of construction is used to reduce eddy current loss, which occurs inside the core when it carries changing or alternating plugs. As core is used to provide a low reluctance path to the magnetic flux, but the core is subjected to circulating electric currents. These circulating currents, called eddy currents, produced heating and energy losses within the core, results in decreasing the transformer's efficiency. This circulating current is produced mainly due to EMF induced in the iron core, as it is constantly being subjected to the changing magnetic field set up by the external sinusoidal supply voltage Vn. To reduce these in the iron core, as it is constantly being subjected to the changing magnetic field set up by the external sinusoidal supply voltage Vn. To reduce these unwanted power losses, thin steel laminations is used to construct the transformer core. Laminations are made up of highly permeable material, that is silicon steel. Steel sheet itself is high, reducing the eddy current losses while making the laminations very thin. The thickness of these laminations is vary between 0.25 mm to 0.5 mm, and as steel is conductor, laminations are electrically insulated from each other by a very thin coating of insulating varnish or by the use of an oxide layer on the surface. The problem with the construction which is so far discussed here is that the two windings are well separated from each other, and there is considerable reduction of magnetic coupling and hence the efficiency of the transformer. This disadvantage can be overcome by using constructing core like this, in which the two windings are bring close to each other, thereby improve magnetic coupling between them. Hope now you have a little bit idea about principle of working of electrical transformer and about its construction.
So hope this lecture is helpful. So the textbooks which I have referred for this topic is A.K. Sahani, a course in electrical and electronic measurements and instrumentation. Thank you.